BBC News at midday. A man who served 17 years in prison for a rape he didn't commit has welcomed a change to rules which mean people who are wrongly convicted will no longer have living costs deducted from their compensation. Andrew Malkinson told the BBC it was a step in the right direction, but said much more needed to change. He said he expected to wait 2 years to receive compensation after his conviction was overturned last month. His solicitor, Emily Bolton, said payments should be given to prisoners immediately after being cleared.
You cannot compensate Andrew Malkinson for spending 17 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. You can, however, give him some of the tools for rebuilding his life. Can we just remove this barrier between wrongfully convicted people and the opportunity to try and put the fragments of their lives back together, what's left of their life?
Ukraine says it brought down dozens of Russian cruise missiles and drones last night after claiming that a guided bomb hit a blood transfusion centre near the border between the two countries. It's thought a number of people were killed and injured in the explosion outside the town of Kupiansk. The former Polish Foreign Minister Radek Sikorski says Moscow probably didn't target the facility deliberately.
Russian weapons are not very precise. So when they launch at population centers, it is inevitable that they will sooner or later hit something like a hospital, a school, or a blood transfusion center. So it's clearly a war crime.
Labour says it will be forced to continue housing asylum seekers on barges and in hotels for a very short period if it wins the next election. The Shadow Immigration Minister, Stephen Kinnock, said the existing infrastructure for housing migrants would need to be used for around 6 months while the backlog of asylum claims was tackled. Downing Street said what it called the legacy backlog made before the end of June last year had been reduced by a third since December. The number of migrants who've crossed the Channel in small boats so far this year has surpassed 15,000. That's down 15% on the same period last year, when more than 17,000 people had arrived in the UK. The government says its policies to stop the boats are working, but critics believe recent bad weather has caused the drop. More than 100 protesters have been arrested in Pakistan after the former Prime Minister Imran Khan was jailed yesterday. Mr. Khan was found guilty of not declaring money he made from selling gifts he received while in office. From Islamabad, here's our Pakistan correspondent, Caroline Davis.
Officials have confirmed that Imran Khan is imprisoned in Attock jail, around an hour and a half from the capital, Islamabad. His legal team have said that they intend to file an immediate appeal against the decision, but were denied access to the jail last night. The police chief at the prison has said that they did not receive instructions to allow his lawyers to meet him. Unlike his first arrest in May, Pakistan has not seen mass protests at the second arrest of Imran Khan, despite his recorded message when he asked people to peacefully protest. BBC journalists outside his residence in Lahore saw supporters who arrived with flags and chanting, led away by police.
At least 15 passengers have been killed after a train derailed in southern Pakistan. More than 40 other people were injured near the city of Nawabshah. An investigation is underway to determine the cause of the incident. England are preparing for their first ever Netball World Cup final, which takes place in South Africa this evening. They'll face Australia in Cape Town after the Roses beat New Zealand in the semi-finals yesterday. Australia have won the tournament 11 times, but the chief executive of England Netball, Fran Connolly, has faith in her team.
This is absolutely huge for netball. We have well and truly shaken up the world order already. We came to Cape Town with an ambition of making our very first final and making history in doing so, and we've done absolutely just that. So it's huge for the sport. I think it's huge for the growth of the global game, and we can't wait to go and see out that final later today.
BBC News.